Ragdoll physics, first-person gameplay, improved AI, and so many more creative mods to come. What I'm about to show you may blow your mind. It's a rainy night, I'm driving around Los Santos. You know what would make this better right now? First person. In fact, doing anything in first person is a blast. Literally, like, look how I just blasted this guy's head off. Or this guy. Or this guy. And of course, we can't forget about women too. I mean, where is the equality in that? Like I've said before, even in my last GTA 4 video, it's extremely refreshing to play the game from a new point of view. And in San Andreas, you can really do some epic things in first person. Manual vehicle aiming is huge for gameplay, letting you shoot in any direction from within your car. Drive-bys are incredible, and I bet you've never shotgunned a baller from the driver's side before. Well, I have. This works with all sorts of weapons. I can AK-47 the innocent from the comfort of my bike. It's great. Cops are now allowed to do the same at a 4-star wanted level, which absolutely makes the game harder, especially when SWAT get involved. Crashing your vehicle can result in you losing a wheel, though you can actually still drive, but obviously with much less control. It's such a high quality mod, like it well could have been in the vanilla game. Alternatively, your tyre might just burst, especially when suffering fall damage. The real traffic fix introduces all types of intelligent AI behaviour. Drivers can handle terrain-based situations better, and it will speed up naturally when it's safe to do so. Also, a nice detail is that trucks now have to stay on the right lane, as well as other big or slow vehicles. Speaking of trucks, I have a mod that makes them pull even more trailers. You will even see pickups towing cars and other trucks carrying containers. There's way more variety in the cargo now, from petrol to products to, I don't know, is it dirt, sand, rock? I can't really tell you what that is, maybe it's horse shit. Hundreds of speed bumps are now present throughout Los Santos, and the vehicles are smart enough to detect them and slow down, which is really cool. So anyway, yeah, here I am committing Grand Theft Auto as the game wants me to. You may notice the camera is different though. A little feature taken from Grand Theft Auto 4, the best GTA game. Carjack IV style has a % chance of activating a cinematic camera when hijacking a vehicle. Even in San Andreas, it looks nice. The drivers are usually pretty dumb when it comes to keeping themselves safe. One final way I tried to fix that was by adding a mod that lets them swerve out the way when you drive right towards them. Fun fact, this FIB truck was cut from the game, but left in the files and even spawnable with a trainer. A further developed version of it was featured in the official strategy guide, with even a mounted gun at the top. Oh, by the way, I know there's no graphics mods or anything yet. I'm actually thinking about making an entire video on some of the graphics mods that I tested. Let me know if that's something you want to watch with a like or a comment. Seeing the physics mod in GTA San Andreas is pretty surreal, since enemies usually just pancake onto the ground. And I like the effect it has on gameplay. Like in this fight, my kicks weren't doing anything, but a shovel dropped the guy, then I could finish him. Guns with a lot of force can cause a ragdoll too, the Deagle for example, which saved my ass here. Along with some special effects mods I'm using, which implement all sorts of exaggerated visuals you might want, like bright gun flashes and smoke, gory blood effects, epic explosions and more. The combat of San Andreas just looks and feels so different now, and it's a lot of fun. More importantly, I wanted to actually be challenged in fights, so I found more than a few ways to bump up the game's difficulty, which you will see throughout this video. You may even have to use your brain to stay alive sometimes. Unbelievable stuff. Ped skills makes the AI a serious threat, firing both more often and with more accuracy. Instead of running right into your line of sight, they will shoot you from afar, so it's effective to take cover in that situation. Though, if you're running around or even driving, ped skills makes it so enemies realistically have a harder time hitting you. Oh, and apparently it's adjusted people's hearing capabilities. I wasn't even aware people had ears, to be honest. Realistic weapon settings does a lot, but primarily it gives you the ability to reload whenever you want to. Watch how in this scene I've emptied the mag and you can hear it click. Get in my Lamborghini and drive to the bar, but still, my weapon is empty until I reload it. That's a great feature right there. Simple regeneration and low life animation pair wonderfully. If my health drops below 30%, CJ will hold his wounds, and after a few seconds it will regenerate back to 30. I also improved the weapon textures and models, added bullet holes on impacts, recoil, better bullet spread, realistic weapon sounds. Trust me, shooting your weapons in this game has never been better. I love it.
I'm on here. You have the right to remain gorgeous.
I like what it did with pedestrians in the world. They will answer phone calls, carry shopping, read the news, smoke, drink, get drunk, and so on. They are simulating real people with real needs, so you'll see them buying from food stands and vending machines, and the homeless you'll see scrounging through garbage bags. I wanted them all to look different too, so I used original Peds Vary. Over 150 people in the world now have up to 3, 4, or even 5 different faces and outfits, so it's much harder to see the same person twice. Cops and other emergency services included, plus SWAT, FIB, and the army. As well as Grove Street, Ballers, the Vargos, all the way down to the San Fierro Reefer, Triads, and more. In fact, the gangs are especially varied now, as it also restored 20 members that were cut from the game. At night time, it's usually pretty quiet, but packed during the day, depending on where you are in the world at least. Noon at Los Santos Beach is much different than noon at the Lil Probe Inn, for example. Enterable hidden interiors adds dozens and dozens of new places to go inside, and I mean so many, like suites, riders, and OG Lokes in Grove Street, to Woozy's apartment in San Fierro, and even the garage you own there. Imagine going back to Liberty City whenever you want to. Well, now you can at the airport. You get in a plane and soon you'll be driving to St. Mark's Bistro, which you can go inside of as well. From Area 69 to Rusty Brown's Ring Donuts, there really is such a wide variety. Even while driving around the map, you should spot more interiors you've never been in before. Like, oh, there's a place where people buy food. Or, oh, there's a place where people smoke crack. Like in GTA 4 and GTA 5, it is now possible to hang out with story characters at any given time, and this is by far one of my favourites. You can go and find the Truth at his ranch, Woozy with his right hand man, or Sweet, Ryder, Big Smoke, Caesar, Jeffro and Dwayne, Emmett, Mad Dog, and way more. It was worth getting the improved texture pack for characters too, since the in-game versions are interesting. It seems kinda broken that after completing the entire story, you don't get to see any of the main characters again, not even your brother. But now it's possible, and they're actually given to you as rewards for progressing through the story. Like Zero is available after New Model Army. You have a special ability with him too. Since he's an expert with all things remote controlled, he will use his RC heli to bomb anyone you tell him to. What an insane little addition. There's just a few more mods I want to talk about, like Bullet View. This gives you sniper shots at cinematic camera when you hold down shift upon firing. I use this way more than I ever thought I would because it's just so well made. The handshake mod lets you interact with your gang using a bunch of different animations. Even one specifically for Fat CJ. Faster clothes change does what you think. Usually it's a big chore to even put on a pair of glasses, but not anymore. Gang Rider lets you put homies in the back of trucks or other vehicles that usually have very limited space. Imagine rolling into baller territory looking like this. Also yeah, flipping your car will make everyone fly out. Robbing stores is now possible. The shopkeeper will either give up the cash or pull a shotgun on you. Fair police, like in GTA 4, makes it so cops will stop people from hitting you instead of just ignoring it. Which is ironically not fair at all, since let's be real, you punched that person in the face. But still, it's a great feature that we all love nonetheless.
I need a donut or I'll kill my fish.
And the flashing radar you've been seeing all video is of course a mod too, which I think is a much better indicator of a wanted level. Lastly, if you've ever wanted to freely use the spray can to tag surfaces in the game, so did I, and that's what Graffiti Anywhere allows you to do. Top quality mod here. I also find it funny that I started noticing clean walls everywhere like there were canvases for my graffiti. Reminded me of Mark Echo's Getting Up from back in the late 2000s, and that was a banging game. If you want to watch another mod showcase, click on that video at the top, or maybe watch the video below it.